I do that every stinking time. Go for it.
All right. So this one is, how do I ensure my kids learn gratitude and appreciation in today's world? I've seen a lot of very entitled people, not just kids, and so harboring a or fostering a sense of gratitude among your kids, I think, is an important thing to do.
Well, the number one answer for me is you got to be grateful. Is it on the board? No, I'm just kidding. It's not Family Feud. Um, but you have to model that life, period, to start with.
Yeah, and I fully believe that, because they will, whatever you do, they will learn either passively or actively, just by the role model figure that you are being. Um, but I think there's definitely ways that we can actively entice it as well. Um, Part of it's not spoiling them, make them earn things.
Yep.
We talked about many moons ago about giving many moons ago
Yeah, I know.
about giving money to our kids, an allowance,
Yeah.
and all everyone that was on that night, I think it might have just been you, me, and Kurt. We were all on board that they shouldn't get an allowance just for existing. They should have to earn an allowance. And I everything you do, just remind them that their kids aren't contributing a whole lot to society at this point, and they're existing because people are providing for them, and so remind them, hey, this isn't your house. You didn't pay for none of it. No,
No, you were being funny, but every once in a while, you got to slam that hammer down. When they start getting attitude, I was like, I'm sorry, whose is it? Did you go get a job and pay for it? It's hopefully it's rare. But this actually came up tonight. But I want to step back before I tell that story. I want to step back. And kids will absorb. I'm making up the number because I don't know the exact statistic, but I'm saying they're going to absorb 80% of what you do and like 20% of what you say. And so being grateful, modeling that, doing that all the time is a muscle. And it just goes naturally to me now because I've worked on it for decades. And some of that was not. My kids saw me being ungrateful at times, and I've had to work through that with them. But set one and set two are far enough apart that I changed enough in that 5-year gap from set one to set two of the kids that set two lived differently now than set one did. And you can see a difference. And it's because I changed and Aaron changed, and we became better at being more positive role models and fixing our stuff in our lives. But tonight, Crosby, my oldest daughter, 19 years old, and she said her brother just got an air conditioner put in his outhouse, if you will. So he now has we got an electrician to wire it up, so we actually have power and lights in both of their sheds, and now he has an AC unit mounted in the wall.
That's a deluxe outhouse.
It really is. It really is. When he moves out and I put my toilet in, it's going to be so good. Can you imagine a toilet and a big screen TV? Come on, Joe. Come on. I'll put a second toilet in with a divider. You can come hang with me.
You never have to leave.
Right? We'll get just a little cubicle wall.
Fridge.
I want a cubicle wall, have two toilets. You'll be on one side, and we'll be watching Demon Slayer and pooping. It'd be awesome.
And we'll stream it from the waist
up. But my wife's talking about, she's not out there all the time. She doesn't use it all the time. And Oakland does live in his, so on and so forth. And talking about the air conditioner, I went, it's $100. I mean, she found a good deal on one that fits that small space. It's a smaller one. It was like $150, which in the big grand scheme of things is not a ton of money. Crosby could save up for it. We could put some money aside, whatever. It's not a big deal. And I made that point. She's like, yeah, I guess I could. And then my daughter pipes up. She goes, well, if we're going to buy the air conditioner, let's just replace the one in my room. And I stopped. And why kept going? I was like, no. I'm sorry. What's wrong with your air conditioner? Oh, it just didn't work as well. I was like, one, when's the last time you changed the filter? Because I'm always on them about that. Oh, I changed it every 2 months. I said, when was the last, we changed. She said, well, probably about 2 months ago. Whatever. Sure. You better check
Well,
it.
then it's due.
Yeah, it's due. And two, I said to her, what's wrong with it? I literally walked down the hall and cold is pouring out of your room. Those girls keep it on 24/7, cranked up to 10. It's one of those that doesn't have a temperature. It's like mine over here in the studio. You just turn it up to 10 or 7 or whatever.
They want to turn it up to 11. It
right.
doesn't do that.
All right, that's Spinal Tap. But it is freezing in there. And then they'll bundle in these huge blankets. And I've gone in there and turned it down going, you're killing me, Smalls. There's no reason for it to blast all this time. And I like it cool in my house. It's cold. And she's like, well, it just didn't work as well. I was like, tell me again how it doesn't work as well when the cat has to leave the room because it's too cold. Tell me again. And I said, this is a lesson you're going to have to learn. It is too easy right now. I said, y'all have to learn different lessons as you're transitioning into adulthood. Her school year finished up. I'm not getting into that tonight. But I said, this is one it's too easy. You're not, by no means are you a spoiled brat, but you are well taken care of because it's too easy for you to spend somebody else's money. So I'm going to tell you, whatever you want to do with an air conditioner, your mom cannot pay for it. I'm not going to pay for it. You need to save up because you are going to have the hardest transition into the world of having to pick, do I pay my rent today or do I replace an air conditioner that stopped working? And we had some talks about that, but we've done a good job at her being grateful and all the kids being grateful. And you see that in them giving, stop it, John. We see that in her giving to her friends and taking care of, they all have, it's a good problem to have, but they all have this problem of taking care of people and being too nice. And even at Christmas, when we give them the option of how they want to do it, they like drawing the name from the hat kind of thing and messing around. And they love that connection. And I wish I could give real good steps of how I got there other than always telling them to be grateful. And that's been my biggest problem. I wouldn't say biggest. That's been a pointed problem. I've had to yell at them, like, right now, you're a very ungrateful human being. I do not want to be around you. And that's the flip side of it is, for me, is calling out when they're grateful and good and when they're not. So what do you have to say, Joey?
I've never actually done this with my kids, and I'm thinking maybe I ought to, but I've heard of other families who, not every month, but maybe 1 month will go through and do the month's budget with their kids so that they better appreciate, how much money is going into the household before they're, worrying about, oh, I didn't get this toy this month or whatever. We're like, yeah, we're spending this much money to keep a roof over your head or this much money to feed you. Because especially, teenagers, they'll just eat and eat and eat and eat. We're like, this afternoon.
You don't even know yet, Bubba. You're getting
this afternoon, you take $200 worth of snacks.
Yeah.
And so, go through and actually show the kids how much stuff actually costs so that they have a better understanding of an appreciation of what things are valued at market value. Because I've seen way too many stories where kids break stuff and they're just like, buy me a new one.
Yeah.
And like, you didn't appreciate the one you had. Why would I buy you a new one? Why would I spend that money? And, I think teaching them to appreciate what they have instead of the newer, better thing will go a long way.
Well, I will admit in my house it's a little more difficult because I like the newer, better thing. And so I do try to balance, like, I worked hard for this. I made a big point with this projector that I said, no, it's very expensive. Well, comparatively, I had the bonus, and I was like, I've wanted it for a year to 2 years, and I just did it for myself for a Christmas present. But that's the first time they see me buy something expensive in a very long time.
Well, and including them in that process, you're like,
Yeah.
this is not an impulse buy.
Right.
This is something I waited for, and I did treat myself to it, but it wasn't like I'm treating myself to something, every month or whatever. This is every so often, and when they view that as this is something that only happens every year or so.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it makes them realize, I'm going to appreciate it that much more because it doesn't come around as often.
You and Card up there have come up with a great idea, right? Y'all do the budget for a date day or whatever you call it, where they get the pick, and there's only so many, I think, a year, right? It's not once a month, right? It's like once a quarter or something.
Yeah. So what we do is we try to get one-on-one time with all of our kids, and so we rotate which kid and which parent. So it ends up being that me and my wife will go with each kid once a year, right? Isn't that how that works out?
Roughly twice a year.
Twice a year. Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. Twice a year. So we'll go with each kid twice a year because we have our three boys. And so every 3 months it's their turn, but with
But you worked on the budget with them, so they get to see to make choices. I think that's a big step in teaching gratitude.
Yeah. So we told them, we're like, for these outings, you have this much for the entire year. And we're like, we have 2 stipulations for these outings. There has to be food involved. We could make it at home and take it, or we can go out to eat, whatever. There's food involved. So you sit down, you talk while you're eating a meal, and there needs to be some kind of an activity. And again, it doesn't have to be a paid activity. It could be, a walk in the park or something, and we've given them ideas for doing things on the cheap if they wanted to, if they needed, if they don't have the budget for it. But yeah, so like, for instance, the last couple of ones, the kids wanted to go see the Minecraft movie. So one-on-one, we went and saw the Minecraft movie. And yeah, so it definitely shows which of the kids are better at budgeting, to be honest.
Yeah. I would like people to write in and call in with their ideas. What, hit the how do I question again?
The how do I?
Yeah, what we're talking about right now.
The how do I ensure my kids learn gratitude and appreciation in today's world?
And that's what I want. Yeah, wiseandnerdy.com/call dad. We'll play it on other shows, right? Obviously, because you can't call in right in a second. But I
you
really
could, as long as you let me know to download it real quick.
A full run through with his kid that has autism, Casey J, who has autism, but he has a kid. I'd like to know. I'd like to hear what that, and anybody listening. I'm very curious as to what you've done for your children, or what you wish you've done because you did it the wrong way and you wish you've done it differently. Because there's no judgment here. We listen and we broadcast it to the world. So, but we don't judge. Well, okay, we do. We just don't say it much on TV.
Especially if you're a bad driver.
I want to start that new trend. We listen and I judge the crap out of you. But yeah, because we both have made efforts. You're I'd say halfway there because your kids are hitting the preteen years.
Yeah, just living on a prayer.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. It's the fly spaghetti monster in this house sometimes. But anyway, it's good to see. My daughter
went right over your head. I love it.
Halfway there. No, I got it, Joe. I just also took it to heart for what you meant by it.